Get right back into Lucky Show number 13. 13 shows. We made a pact that we were going to do tennis updates because we got a little, I guess you could say, tired of kind of the same old, same commentary. At least the majority of it. But I have gotten really excited about the last two women's videos because the past couple of days I've had the opportunity myself, and I know she has had a large opportunity as well, to actually actively try to follow men's and women's tennis. When the wind blows this way, because it blows right into the microphone, we have to talk loud. So there's a north wind today coming out from our north. So
you're doing the weather too.
So I like the weather too. There are some weather videos out there too, but this is about tennis. Anyway, so I'm gonna put back on my replacement glasses. I talked about my glasses the last video. My other pair broke, so pay no mind to my dollar glasses. So I haven't really enjoyed doing the women the past 2 days, especially because during the day we have watched and followed tennis actively to make our own commentary and relay it to you. And we have worked really hard at it, right?
Yeah, definitely. Normally I don't, we do our brackets. I don't care about the women's because I never hear from it anyway. So I'm like, I go blinded, doing these brackets. Don't you?
Yeah, so we have done for many years, I think 8 years now, we've done like a fantasy bracket, and we can never find women's stuff, so we never really put that much into it because it was just some fun little bracket thing we did on the internet. So now that we are actually trying to relay real information, we realize that the women are almost impossible to cover. You have to dig deep to find their scores. I don't blame some of them for calling it quits on the tennis court and moving to swimsuit calendars and Instagram modeling. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but the girls are struggling out there to even get put on television in an important third set match, and we'll talk about that match here shortly. But gee whiz, I mean, Tennis Channel, come on. I mean, if it wasn't for girls, we wouldn't have boys. I mean, that's fine. I mean, I think there should be equal opportunity for coverage and then make a consideration of whether or not there's equal pay. But in my opinion, it can't even be discussed at this point until I wake up and I try to do these videos for you and I see half of the day or half of the coverage or at least scores on the bottom of the screen. I don't even get WTA scores on the bottom of the screen. Then one men's match comes up, I get told, go pay for Tennis Channel Plus,
yeah.
And then I go online and find out what's streaming on that channel on my location, and it's another men's match that just was booted off the current channel. How can this happen?
It's sad because, even ESPN, if they have a tournament like Indian Wells, Miami Open, they have the decency to at least put the score for the women, mixed doubles. But Tennis Channel, it's all for ATP tennis. I'm sorry, and that's wrong. Maybe we need another advocate like Billie Jean King in the women's tour.
Yeah, Billie Jean King does a great job. Always has. Have been to the U.S. Open twice. Saw Federer play there and win twice. A really good job up there. Maybe we should have more Jean Kings around to figure out some way that we can get more coverage for these women. Because every time I read about equal prize money, now that for the past week I've been humbled when I realized that it's really difficult to even find out who's winning and why. But we'll get into that. So, a lot of good women's tennis today. A lot of good women's tennis. And unfortunately, there was zero coverage, but we got it. All right, so Muguruza goes down. We're going to talk about that. Just think about that. That's coming up later. Serena news, none for the current time. Carla did some research. I think Serena and Sharapova. Tease. Uh-oh. Cat fight. No, they're going to do some exhibition in California, I think, at some point.
Sometime in end of summer. Sometime the end of July, beginning of August, I saw.
Yeah, so Halep pulls out of Eastbourne next week. Is it a big deal? We'll talk about that. No Venus Williams news to speak of. Sloane Stephens, question mark. And Kerber went down yesterday to, was it Risk that beat Kerber?
Yes,
Risk, an American player who was in a third set today. And I got, instead of watching Risk, she won, but instead of being able to watch Risk win, an American girl player with promise on grass, I was able to watch Edmund sit on the sideline eating some protein powder, and then Kira goes holding his towel in his mouth. No disrespect to either male player, but I watched your match. I mean, come on, man, we got a third set here. and I'm watching you eat a banana.
Yeah, it's not right that they can flip from the Hal Open back to this tournament.
Yeah,
they could do the same for those
Yeah,
women.
I mean, put a woman on one side match, and then put a male match, and then we'll talk, man. But we got risk in a third set. And I know I can get a split screen because I see it all the time, and I got Hal with like I think playing at the time was like Federer and Pierre, yeah, tight, and then I get swapped over to the Kyrgios Edmund match, and in the meantime we got a third set going, and they're in the early stages of their matches, and we're deep into the third set of her or their matches, and I can't see them. Anyway, I still got the news though.
I think boycott.
All right, jumping into the score. So today, completed matches. We were just speaking of Alison Risk. She took out Herzog in 3 sets. Herzog is no relevance for me in Wimbledon. Risk though, now having followed her for a week, I think she has a chance to get into the top 16 on my list, but not quite yet. But she's hovering.
Well, good for the American. I mean, the Americans need all the boost they can, in the tennis game right now. I mean, we always hear about the Russian players, about the players from China, Belgium, France. So we definitely need American tennis to start rising.
Yeah, I wish I could have seen that. I cannot say that I recall having watched Risk. I think her first name's Allison.
Yes.
I have yet to see her play ever. I have just followed her now for a week. She has beaten some decent players, and she was in a third set today. And here I am, sitting in Dauphin Island, Alabama, and I'm watching Edmund and Kyrgios basically get going, and I'm watching later Federer and Pierre get going. No disrespect to any of those players, but it's not cool. It's not cool for me that we should have been able to see that. We should have been able to see that. Anyway, we did not. However, Risk won. Keep working Risk, and you might end up in my top 16 for Wimbledon. Not that you care, but anyway. Moving forward, so we had an Australian girl, Tomljanovic, that beat Peterson, a Swedish girl. Again, this is about contenders and who we think will get to the second week of Wimbledon, starting now and moving forward. I think I'm out ding-ding on both. You?
Yes, I mean, I'm glad they were there, and I'm glad, I can't pronounce her name, that she's...
Tomljanovic, yeah.
Where is she from?
Australia.
Okay, well, I'm glad she's representing her country.
Yeah, she's probably not, from Australia. She's probably not indigenous, but not that matters, but we have a Kenin here in the U.S., right? I think her name's Kenin, not Henin, Justine, but Kenin with a K. I think she's Russian through and through, but she plays America. That's all we're saying. There's nothing wrong with that. We have an ongoing study on why American tennis has been so bad. Less Serena, Sloane Stephens, and Venus Williams. You can put Query in the mix over here on the men's side, but I mean, when there's player after player after player after player after player that comes from.
Yeah, since Sampras, Agassi, Capriati, that was, in that era. You had Chang, you had Davenport, even Chandler Rubin was mentioned a lot. I mean, we had quite a few players back in the 90s.
We had a lot of players, and it's slim pickings now. All right, so moving forward for time constraints, we had a zero agreement. We had that either one of those girls would do anything alone. No. So we're going to keep pushing forward for time reasons. Sevitsova defeated Lautner today. I've never seen Sevitsova play. I have seen her name a lot over a couple of years. Lautner, I think she's a German girl, never seen her play. Sevitsova won 1-6, shaky first set, and then cruised 6-3, 6-1. I don't have either in my top 16 for Wimbledon.
I've seen her play. I actually watched her beat Sharapova on her U.S. Open comeback. So not bad. She's not a bad player. She can do some damage.
So you have her maybe for your top 16 for Wimbledon? Not sure yet?
I'm not sure. I would have to look at the draw.
All right, now this match is a second example of lack of equal tennis coverage, or even approximating anything close to coverage for women's tennis. Today we had Azarenka that lost to Safarova, who was Bethany Maddox-Sands' doubles partner, and they will be playing together at Wimbledon. I think Maddox-Sands will have strawberry blonde hair. Looking forward to that, and to find out whether or not they'll let you play with that color on the court. Nonetheless, look forward to it either way. Knowing Bethany, she'll just shave it off if they don't like it and make more of a story about it. So go. We look forward to it. Hope the knee's better. But Azarenka played and lost to Safarova today in straight sets. No huge surprise there either way. A lot going on with Azarenka, but there was no even mention of it, no coverage. And again, I'm watching kind of the mid-meat of some men's matches, and they are at the end of the second set of their matches. And I'm following it online, so I can bring it again, the information to you. No mention. And I knew the scores long before it came across the screen, which it never did on the tennis channel. But
I'm bummed out that Azarenka lost. I would actually love to see her win another Grand Slam. After everything she's been through, I mean, she's a mother now. She had some ex that's tried to ruin her. I would love to see her win a Grand Slam.
Yeah.
I don't know how she's going to do at Wimbledon. I don't think she'll win it.
Yeah, kind of rocky after that loss to Safarova. Kind of rocky. Safarova's a great doubles player. I did not expect Safarova to win. We said that yesterday. We thought Azarenka would cruise, so we were wrong.
Yeah. I'm
sorry.
surprised. It's shocking, actually.
All right, so notable matches tomorrow, quarterfinals. Garcia, the French girl, plays the U.S. girl that I just mentioned. She's, I think, Russian-born, Kenin. I'd love to see that match because I've rarely seen either. I've seen Kenin a little bit. I've seen Garcia a little bit. But I know we won't be able to see it. But I would love to because I'm sure we're going to watch Kyrgios warm up or something like that. So, anyway, we'll bring you the news there. But I don't have either one of them of going deep into Wimbledon.
You know, I actually like Kenin. I watched her play at the U.S. Open when she was deciding whether to turn pro or not. And she is a feisty thing. She reminds me a bit of, I mean, she does not look like Sharapova, but she has huge strokes. I mean, she's only 19. So for her, she needs to beat this player. She's number one seed. Garcia's number one seed in this tournament. I'm actually going to look at her as a possibility, depending what her ranking is. Maybe as an unseeded player.
Okay. I'm not jumping off the bandwagon, but I'm not jumping on either bandwagon at this point. Next match is the Australian we mentioned earlier, Tom Jelanovic, playing Sevitsova. I'm not going to have either on my top 16 at Wimbledon.
No, I'm not. Yeah, I won't either. Depending where the first Sevastova she's playing.
Correct.
No, I probably won't.
All right, next match, quarterfinal tomorrow. The girl Risk, the American girl, Allison Risk, is playing a Grand Slam winner, a major tournament winner, and Sam Stosur. She laughed at me about Stosur having a chance at grass at all a week ago. She's in a quarterfinal. I love my call there. Whoop, whoop,
I still disagree with you.
Whoop, whoop. Spoil alert, spoil alert.
Sorry.
Watch out for Stosur.
I think anybody looking at the show would be laughing at you as well.
Don't laugh. Don't hate. Don't do it. Stozur's gonna win this match against Risk. Stosur, I think, is in shape. She's fit. She's strong. She's experienced. She's mature. Not saying Risk isn't, but again, I would love to see this match just to see Risk play. Coverage? Question mark. I mean, the only place I'm gonna be able to find even the scores is on the 74th page of some internet source. Go Risk, go USA, good job. Go Stosur too. A lot of good work in your career. Last quarterfinal tomorrow is Safarova, who beat Azarenka today, and the German Maria. Again, I don't have either doing anything at Wimbledon. Can we move forward for time?
Sure, definitely.
Okay, no disrespect to Maria or Safarova. Not your year for Wimbledon, in our opinion. Am I not speaking?
Well,
for
last
you?
year Safarova made it, I think, to the quarters.
So is she in your top 16?
No, for doubles, if we were doing a doubles bracket, I'd pick her to win it with Sands.
All right, well, here you have it here. Maddox, Sands, Safarova winning Wimbledon. Can they do it?
They can.
Let's get that done. Don't count too much for singles with Safarova, in my opinion. No disrespect. Just some ending comments, and I'm going to push right forward to the Birmingham tournament, the Nature Valley Classic. I can't believe Azarenka lost.
Yeah, like I said earlier, I'm bummed out. I really want to see her succeed badly, just like Serena and even Sharapova.
I wish you would have won Azarenka. Still pulling for you. No TV coverage for these matches, or even any stories behind it outside of maybe where these matches are being played. Not really cool.
Yeah. What does that say about the tennis world?
I don't know, maybe it's a dying cause. Let's not let it fade away like the antiquities of archery or fencing or so forth. Give the girls a chance. They're good, pretty good players. Moving forward, Nature Valley Classic. Today, Kvitova beats Gavrilova easily. 2-2. We said that would happen yesterday. I'm not going to waste much time with that.
No.
I have Kvitova currently as winning Wimbledon.
Yeah, me too. Not winning it, but she's one of my picks.
Yeah, Kvitova is in my semifinalist group for Wimbledon. No way I'm leaving her out. I think I only have one. Well, I have two. Always Serena. You could, Serena's my number one. Serena and Kvitova are only two I have locked in to Wimbledon at this point on my 8-person team that I would have to select to go to Wimbledon with, being female. The next match was Strykova, who beat Brady, that beat Bouchard, and that whole chain of storyline that we've been talking about for the last 3 or 4 shows, beats Muguruza in straight sets. Big deal?
For her it is. For her career it is. I mean, she's beaten a lot of top players in the Grand Slam tournaments. Would she be in my pick? No. I mean, I don't think Muguruza's going to sweat it either.
Yeah, no big loss for Muguruza. Maybe she's resting. I mean, what did she do with the French? She win it?
No, she lost in the semis to Halep.
Okay, yes, Halep won her French. Can't believe I forgot that. But she's a strong player. She's been here before and won it before. No big deal for Muguruza. She'll be fine. Muguruza is definitely in my top 8 list of female players for Wimbledon. Not top 4, not semi yet, but I'm tinkering around with her in my top 5. Julia Georges today defeats Barty. For me, neither are in my Wimbledon top 16. Barty, I've been keeping my eye on because she's been hanging around. Lost to Georges today, even though she was the 5 seed. I don't see it being any way to push her agenda further in my mind for her being a quarterfinalist or round of 16 at Wimbledon.
Well, I know we said yesterday, if Barty would keep winning, then, okay, well, then maybe she's not that type of player, but she just proved that she's just,
Could be just another player.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, another surprise.
No, I didn't know that.
Okay, so moving forward to an upset for myself, and she had not seen my prepared notes, so I think she just finally saw where we were going. A personal favorite of mine and a compliment to her is the Russian player Kazatkina. They are built, for me, almost identically. They play a very similar game, so I respect watching her play because it reminds me of the way Carla plays. No relevance in looks and so forth. But she lost today to Serenko. I was really pulling for Kazatkina today. She had won the first set 6-1. I don't know if she kind of fell apart there or what happened, but the next 2 sets, Serenko took 3-3. Maybe it's fitness.
Well, Serenko is ranked actually number 34 in the world, so she's been around the block. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see for the next tournament. I'll see how she does in the next tournament, Eastbourne.
All right, so that's the completed matches from the Birmingham tournament. Quarterfinal matches tomorrow. We have Rybarkova versus Jakupovic. I did a little research on both these players. One is from Slovenia. The other is from Slovakia. I think that makes it interesting in the only way, shape, or form. So I'm out on either going deep at Wimbledon. Rybarkova always has a chance. She's a decent player. I've never heard of the other player. Again, it's not your fault. We just are never turned on to the likes of probably how good of a player that you are because we never hear or see from you.
I've seen Rybarkova play before. She's slim. She hits pretty hard, but she's really not a contender for a Grand Slam. So no, this match is not going to really matter for us.
All right, so we have Strykova playing Serenko. I personally don't have anyone at this point out of those two doing really well when winning. Strykova now I have to start thinking about because I've been tracking her for a week and she keeps popping up too.
Right.
But currently she's not in my top 16.
Neither on mine.
I mean, if you beat Brady, good. She beat, we just talked about it and I already forgot. Was it Barty? Who was it that she just beat?
She just beat Barty, yeah.
No, she beat Muguruza.
Oh, that's right.
But even with that,
see what I'm saying? It's forgettable.
Yeah, I mean, even with that win, I just don't see it changing Muguruza's future at Wimbledon. So hopefully it's a good match, but again, I don't see threats from either deep at Wimbledon. The next match, Julia Georgis versus Kvitova. I would love to watch that match. Both veteran players. I think Kvitova cruises here right through it.
Agree. 6-2, 6-3, somewhere around there.
2-2, 3-3, 4-4. Either way, not much of a sweat being broken. I say Kvitova is cool and collected, rolls it right through.
Yes.
So I would say you can count on Kvitova being in the semis of this tournament here. So lastly, we have Svitolina against a player that I'm new to as well, Buzarenescu. Again, pronunciation, my apologies. I would love to see this too. Svitolina is a good player. I haven't heard of the other one, but I've been tracking her for 2 tournaments, and she seems to be doing okay. But I have no shot at watching her play. I would love to see her play against Svitolina because she's a power player too, or a decent player. And also, important bit of knowledge, Buzarenescu is Romanian. I'm curious if she has any ties to Halep.
Who knows? Usually most of the players that play for their countries, they stick together.
So, curiosity, Buzarenescu, again, pronunciation, I'm sorry. Any ties? Adidas team? Does she wear Adidas apparel?
I have no clue. I've never seen her.
I've never seen her. How can I tell what kind of apparel she wears so I can go out and buy it? Is she with Team Adidas? No, I don't know. Does Cahill coach her with Team Adidas?
I couldn't tell you.
I don't know. I like Cahill. He seems like a really good guy. I mean, I actually admire Cahill. He seems to be a really... he seems to be a good guy.
He commentates well also.
Yeah, commentates good too. I forgot to mention Cahill's a commentator. He's a good commentator. Good job, Cahill. Standing ovation. You know I haven't done a standing ovation yet in this entire series? Standing O, Cahill.
Didn't Cahill... I thought Cahill coached the top men in the tour.
Murray, I think. Didn't Cahill coach
yeah,
Murray?
You're right.
So, hey, Cahill's done a great job. I don't know how we got on the Cahill tangent. It's kind of cool.
I mean, he always gives great advice on the players' comments. I mean, he makes sense.
Yeah, and he seems like he cares.
Yeah.
So, in ending, that's a good trivia question. Does Halep and Buzarenescu join forces? I don't know. Will they play doubles together? Why not, right? Why not? Cahill can coach them both. Let's go.
I don't see that happening.
I don't either. It's just wishful thinking. It makes for good news, and we won't get that in too many places around this neck of the woods. So, anyway, thanks very much. Subscribe below. Click a like below. That's the end of our notes. Again, we enjoy doing this. This is my wife, Carla, and we're going to do this through Wimbledon. I don't know how we're going to do Wimbledon yet because with 5 children, there's no possible way we can do 64 matches and talk about it without my camera dying on my phone, right?
We'll figure out a way.
So I've been tinkering around with having maybe her choose a fantasy team, I choose a fantasy team, and then we talk about the results of each fantasy team every day and how we did and so forth.
That sounds good. And maybe matches like upsets. We can mention
mention upsets, and kind of use that as the theme. So we do a fantasy league, and we pick teams, and then we compete against each other for that, as well as on the actual tennis court. But I think right now my option A is to do our fantasy teams and then talk about that at Wimbledon to make it easier for us to do, or have us do our draws, men's and women's, all the way down, spend a couple hours doing that, and then just discuss how the draws are pan out throughout. But you still have to discuss a bunch of matches. So maybe we would just leave out the irrelevant matches as we went around, and just the no-name matches and qualifiers just leave out.
Yeah, we could do our, like you said, our fantasy group, and then maybe as we get to the round of 16, we can start talking
break
about
it down and
every
see
match.
maybe see whose players made it and so forth.
Correct.
So anyway, hey, food for thought, FYI type stuff. So thanks again, everybody, for watching. From Carla and myself here with 5K Tennis. That again is reference to our 5 kids, 5K Tennis. Nothing special, but just that's how we roll. 5D. So anyway, thanks for watching. Click a like below, subscribe below, and we will be back tomorrow. Hopefully with a little bit shorter version because we are down to the quarterfinals, which means the semis follow, only with the final following that. So that means I have to write less.
That's good.
And as always, lovely Carla says, see you later and have a good day.
Bye-bye. Take care.
See you later.